My name is Linda Onchwati Nyandat, and I'm a dentist by profession.
My name is Michael Nyandat, and I'm an accountant by profession.
And this is our dream wedding.
Marriage is ordained of God. So you will do well to invite him, to allow him to guide you, Michael and Linda. You will do well to recognize that this is just not your doing. You've not just called folks together and to witness this occasion. God has his invisible hand in this process.
My grandmother and my grand aunties, all of them arrived that afternoon at about 4:30. They talked and they were happy, they were singing, they gave advice. That went on up to like, I don't know, midnight. Yeah. So we left the house at midnight with my uncle, went to his place in Runda. We reached there like at maybe 1:31, somewhere there. Yeah. So that was my night prior. I had butterflies. I was nervous. Yeah. Initially, what I wanted for a gown was not white. Yeah, and my mother was like, "How do you mean you're not going to wear a white gown?" I mean, that's why we are having a wedding. Yeah. So I didn't want a white gown. I wanted something colorful, something beautiful. Something that shows, something that if I walk somewhere, somebody just knows that's a bride. Yeah. Not that's another lady in a white dress. No offense to people who like the plain ones. Yeah. So I wanted to be like a bride. And yes, I do admire Asian brides because they look like brides on their wedding day. Yeah. They have beautiful jewelry on, beautiful clothes on. Yeah. And if we're to go by African culture, even brides used to have jewelry. They used to have, okay, as much as we were mostly naked, yeah, yeah, but they used to have their waist beads, their anklets, their bracelets, yeah. They used to have their necklaces, their earrings, yeah. So I don't know why we threw those away along the line. Yeah, people just appear with a stud, one tiny necklace, one thin bracelet, yeah, and a plain white dress. I mean, just you need to show people you're a bride. Be beautiful on that day. So that was my inspiration. I loved my gown, yeah, and I was just hoping that it was going to have that breathtaking effect when people see it. They're going to be like, wow, yeah. Then who made it? You. Okay, I know that sounds it's so obnoxious, but yeah. That is what I was hoping to do, and yeah, it was nice. It fit. Yeah, I wasn't going to worry about Nkikula, my pot shoe. Yeah, and the zip didn't come apart. It was just lovely. Oh, my mom was nervous. Yeah. She was putting the veil on. She's shaking. I'm like, why are you shaking? When you're making me nervous. Yeah, so she put it on nicely. Yeah. Put it over my head. Then she prayed and blessed me. And then, yeah, we're good to go.
Linda's mother's sister. Yeah, me and Linda's mother are close. She is one of those people who really took care of us when we were growing up as a big sister. She was very responsible and very giving. on the day of the wedding, I think it's tradition that a mother puts the veil on her daughter. So when we walked into the room where Linda was, she was told to come and put the veil on Linda's head. And I realized she was shaking. I just assumed that because of the moment. I think it struck her that really now this is the moment. And maybe that's why she was shaking. In retrospect, I think for every woman, every mother who has raised a daughter and who also has, of course, gotten married and so gone to live the married life and raise a family, it dawns on you that there is something that's going to change in this relationship. I think something that really dawns on you that it has actually happened. I have to let go and I have to see her differently. So it's maybe probably that's why my sister was a bit nervous when she was putting the veil on her daughter.
Now we are leaving the house. Yeah, it was I had butterflies. Yeah, so it was like wow. Then my mom took my hand, then put it in your mom's hand. Yeah, so I was like, wow, this is it. There's no coming back.
Yeah.
So I entered the car, waited, then we left for church.
On that morning, the church service was to start at 10. Yeah, Linda was being picked all the way from Runda. So from Runda to church, which is at NPC Woodley, you can see that distance. So everything needed to be calculated such that we don't waste time, and also now locked out of the church. We were penalized. Yeah, but at least everything went well after that. So at the point whereby we were marching in, I realized the sound guys at church have messed up. They're playing the song that's meant to be for, how is it? Like for my parents to march in, that's what they're playing for us. So, Nico, okay, I hope they don't mix up Linda's song. So we proceeded, stood at the front. After everyone, the bridal procession came in, now it was time for the bride to walk in. Then they start the song. I think it went on for like 1 minute, 30 seconds of guys staring at the door. No one is coming, staring at the door, no one is coming. So in terms of drama or dramatics, yeah, my heart was really beating. And I'm like, where's this bride? Where has she gone? Yeah, because no one was walking through that door. Then eventually now she shows up. Wow, I've never been that relaxed.
The things just happened too quickly, yeah. By the time I was noticing her here, the last bridesmaid has gone in.
starts walking down the aisle, in my head I'm thinking, wow, this girl looks hot. Do you know, that was the first time now I was seeing the dress. And she looked lovely. Because the thing is, when she decided to stitch her own dress, I asked her like 50 times, are you sure you can pull this off? Are you sure you can pull this off? It's a wedding dress, it's not a dress. Yeah, but she assured me that, you know what, you relax. Me, if I'm not panicking, no, are you panicking? I said, sour. And that's how that story of the dress now just, I left it to her. And yeah, it was looking too hot. And I couldn't believe that that day had finally reached.
Down the aisle, church, yeah. I was walked down the aisle by my mother and my brother. If my father was there, I would have thought he'd be the one to walk me down the aisle. After that, things changed. So I thought it would be my grandfather. Then he passed away. So now I really had to really look around and say, who is going to walk me down the aisle? So yeah, we talked with my mom. She suggested my brother. So yeah, it was my brother in the end. The only boy. We have 4 of us in our family, 4 children. So he's the only boy. He comes after me. I'm the firstborn, he's the secondborn. Yeah, so for him, yeah, it was a very good experience, I suppose, because he needs to realize he's the man in our lives. Yeah, so he has to take care of me. He has to take care of my 2 other sisters and my mom. So I think that was like an eye-opener for him. Yeah, it gave him that sense of responsibility that's going to be dawning on him for the rest of his life, hopefully. Feeling like, wow, this is final. Yeah, I was already missing my mom at that point. Yeah, and it was not easy for her to do it. Yeah, it's not easy to give away a daughter. Yeah, he never understands. I told him once, when he gets his daughter is when he'll cry. You know those dads who cry. Yeah, it's not easy. Very. My mom is she raised us alone. Yeah, so she's been our dad and our mom. Yeah, so yeah, we were each other's rocks. So yeah, we're that close. I'll leave it at that.
Standing with you in trials.
Rejoicing with you in victories.
In sicknesses and in health.
In sicknesses and in health. We had to say, okay, I say, the female says I do, and the guy says I will. So I'm not a lawyer, but that's different. Yeah. No, I've not asked a lawyer yet, but it doesn't make sense. And one person has to do them like immediately. That's how I understood them. It was strange, but
As you can see, she's very analytical of everything. Yes. Sometimes it could just be a simple word. Yeah. It could be just a simple vow. Okay, not simple, but yeah, the wording could just mean what it is. I will do.
you
Yeah.
will. Not you will do, it was you will.
I will.
Yeah.
The way I understood is, alright, there are certain roles that I'm meant to play as the husband, and there are certain roles she's meant to play as the wife. And the vows were a way for us to, reaffirm each other of the commitment to each other. Yeah, that's what I understood with the vows.
Marriage is ordained of God. So you will do well to invite him, to allow him to guide you, Michael and Linda. You will do well to recognize that this is just not your doing. You've not just called folks together and to witness this occasion. God has his invisible hand in this process.
They usually say in the Bible that women should submit to their husbands and husbands to love their wives. Yeah. But I'm ready to love my wife. In terms of submission, I know she's pretty, how would I put it? Yeah, that submit word. I think she even mentioned it earlier. Yeah, she's not so keen on the submission part.
Submission only happens after you've loved me. So it's like it flows. That's what the pastor was saying. Yeah, you can't expect submission without providing the love. Yeah. So don't be too keen on the submit. Yeah. Yeah. Don't expect it if you don't do your part.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why he's saying they're tied together. Yeah. As human beings, yeah, in this society that we live in, we've messed everything up. Yeah. So we tend to think that one thing can happen without another. Yeah. So you can't expect to have a lot of savings in the bank if you never save. You see. So there's no way you can go to the bank and tell them, give me my money. Yeah, which money? It's not there. So that's it's a thing that it's a merry-go-round. Yeah. So I need love in order to submit. Yeah. And it's in the end we benefit. Yeah. That's how it is.
We met through a mutual friend. Believe it or not, I think we've been dating 10 years prior to the wedding. And here we are.
Linda, it's not only Mike and the rest of us who love you. Movit also loves you, and Samantha Bridal loves you too. And because of that, they've given you this gift just to say congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome on behalf of
Thank you, Samantha Bridal and more.
Sawa.
The decor was done by Catherine Ambisia, Classic Functions. She was also amazing. Yeah, she's just like my mom. Yeah. In fact, I didn't even choose anything. Really, we just chose tents, chairs. Of course, you knew there has to be tables. Yeah. And then I gave Catherine the color scheme. Yeah, I gave her pieces of fabric of what we're going to use on that day. And the rest, she did the rest. Honestly, I didn't even know what kind of table covering we're going to have. I didn't know all those things. Yeah. Yeah, but it was beautiful. I was like one of those super clueless brides, yeah. So she was really good.
Linda brought me a sample. And I looked at it and I told her, Linda, this is magenta. And she said, this is what I want for my girls to wear. And I also want to incorporate gold. And so I decided to do a sample, table sample flower, and incorporating the fuchsia, the pinks, the purple, the lilacs, for it to come out as a beautiful, so that I'm not just working with one color. So we agreed that that's the kind of floral arrangement I was going to make using those kind of flowers. And so that's what I did. And for the table centerpieces, she wanted something simple. And of course, looking at what she wanted to pay. But 3 days to the wedding, I thought, I have these crystals in the house. I have these table stands in the house. Why can't I just use them and make her wedding beautiful? And so that's what I did.
Nanga nuli kuza muli musungu Wapi vigelegele ya Waluya wewe?
For us, Linda has really done us proud. It was a very exciting moment. Something that we'd say has come full circle because she's the first grandchild in the family to get married. So it was very exciting. And another thing is that I had seen her with Mike for quite a while, almost 8 years of dating. And I remember the first time I saw her with Mike, Mike had earrings and a necklace. They were quite young then, maybe 18. And I just laughed. So I told Linda, so that's the new friend you've gotten. And then I called him Mablin. So I used to enjoy her. Like when she was going for her first date, I said, you go, but I want to see you here at 4. And she went and she came back. And I said, that's very nice because you have to set a standard for the children. And initially, you try to guide them because they are young, they need chaperoning. And that's a role, I believe, of an auntie. So for me, it was very nice to see them complete what they started like 8 years ago. So I was very happy for her. And of course, for the family, everybody was very happy for her. And also for him, I think he got something nice.
Uwe submissive to your husband. Uwe mnyenyekevu. Akitoka kwa kazi, umkaribisha kwa nyumba. Hata ukiwa na shida namna gani, hata kama mtu amekutusi huko kwa kazi, lakini onyesha furaha. Na tena wewe Michael, ndio kwa maana Biblia inasema husbands should love their wives. Si ndio? Hakusemi mwanamke apende mwanamume. Mwanamume ampende. Ukimpenda ndio utaona furaha yake.
Urge you, Mike, love your wife. This is a very important thing. It is not so much the feeling, but it is a combination of feeling and a combination of action. You find as time goes, it is more of action, and you just find that even the feeling comes. So this is my advice to you. Now,
I think the submission came out strongly. So mostly that was directed at Linda. That's why I'm guessing she's not so amused with that submission word. But in terms of taking care of the family, putting the family first, and me loving my wife, that's what I picked up from majority of the speakers who, gave us words of wisdom that day. Yeah.
Okay, my mom was more of supportive. Yeah, she helped me like secure some of the vendors that I really appreciated. She helped me with my dress. So if she was influential, she was a positive influence. Yeah.
Okay, I had the backing from the family. In terms of some of the services that were being provided, we got them on the house, if I could say, free of charge. And even in terms of financial support, in terms of service, guys like the ushers who were there on that day, yeah.
Yes, I made my own dress. We decided with my aunt and my mom that we'll make we'll try and make the dress.
Initially, when Linda had said she wants to make her dress, I think she got into, I don't know whether it's the influence of Presh, but she just fell in love with all clothes Indian.
I looked for a design online, something that I thought would suit my body. So we started looking for fabric and also doing the pattern cutting according to that design. Yeah, so we went around the whole of downtown, uptown, everywhere that we knew that fabric is sold. Yeah, so we started stitching it. We cut first. We first cut like a mock dress, which you stitch in very cheap fabric. Then after that, when we were a bit confident, did the adjustments on the paper pattern, is now when we actually cut on the actual fabric. So when we cut it on the actual fabric and started putting everything together, because it was basically like a layer of satin, then on top there's some tulle, which we needed to put some flower motifs on it. So when we started doing the flower motifs, we're not very confident in what we had chosen, because in Kenya getting very good fabric, very good motifs is hard and very, very expensive. A motif is like an embroidered or beaded cutout, of it can be any shape, like a flower. Some can just be like, I don't know, something, just patterns that are beaded that you can stick on top of fabric, to make whatever type of dress you want.
And like you see, this fabric was what we'd say in the affordable range. In fact, we were laughing because we were saying, you see, we've gotten away with a dress cheaply. But when you look at these fabrics, this is not actually what you saw on maybe the internet. And you see, if you're making for somebody, let's say a gown, should you want to make, you have to explain to them that I can make you the same thing, but it will look very different depending on the cost of the fabric.
So we found what we think was looking like what the dress I had seen on the internet. So we again tried to change the design, changed the fabric a bit more. It still didn't measure up to what people expected me to wear. So we decided to go window shopping for dresses. We went to several boutiques, went with my 2 aunts and my mom. Yes, Auntie Konso, Auntie Lorna, and my mom. So we tried on the dresses. I tried on the dresses. It reached a point I tried like one last dress and we looked at it with Auntie Konso and we were like, really? This fabric is in downtown. Then I looked at the layers and then I said, we can find this, we can find this, we can find this. Then we decided from there on we're going to make the dress. So we went to a fabric shop in Westlands. I didn't want a white dress. So like now the dress that I finally wore, there was a peach and gold version of it, of the fabric. So that's the one I wanted, but my mom was like, no way, no, you have to be in something white, or at least if you're taking me far from white, it has to be close to white.
So we went, she showed me some peach colors. I didn't mind because really it's not a must that you should be get married in a white dress. It can be any color.
So you had to take the off-white and gold. It was still beautiful. So then we came here, we changed the design again, and the dress became what it was, what you saw.
So like for Linda's final gown, in fact, it became something very simple and it taught us something new because it showed us that actually, if you spend on fabric, you can pull off a very simple design. If you don't spend on fabric, you have to have a more complicated design and more layers of fabric to try and achieve what you're looking for. We are now used to the downtown story. To Boise, Luthuli, Agra Road. We know how to walk downtown. So when I say come, let's go downtown. You can get, especially for brides, it's not a bad thing to go and explore what's happening downtown. Sometimes people have to do things on a budget. You can get jewelry for your maids. Because it's a day's event and you want them to look spruced up, you can walk downtown and pick things at really a good price. Most people, especially the young people when they're getting married, money is really an issue. Budgets are an issue. And if you can cut costs here and there, the better. What carries off a dress, when we now really sit back in retrospect, what carries off a dress is the fabric. Fabric. Then, of course, the style, it has to suit your body.
Yeah.
So I think we've learned a lot of lessons from a dress of 6,000 shillings in terms of costing of in material to something that cost us a bit more, but it did well for her.
For the bridesmaid dresses, we decided to make them, but on condition that I had already finished making my dress. Yeah, so if I hadn't finished making my dress, they were not going to allow me to touch those. So, as my aunt said, because we would already stitch several clothes for several people, different sizes. Yeah, I could easily tell. I can look at you and tell you you're a size this according to the book. Yeah. We decided we were going to do the bridesmaid dresses. I'd looked for the fabric for so long. I think I got it like maybe 1.5, maximum 2 months before the wedding. We needed something that was cotton, but also has a shimmer or a glue to it. Yeah. So we decided to choose cotton silk. So we just went. I bought all the fabric at once. So we started stitching. There are some who I had to literally force to come for fitting, but eventually they did, and yeah, it was nice. Majority of the clothes fitted like a glove. Yeah, it was just very minor adjustments. I was happy. Best maid's dress, yeah, she came, I think it was like 2 weeks to the wedding. Then she had decided she's going to wear one of her saris. Yeah, so I didn't have a problem with that as long as it sort of blended with the colors of the wedding. 2 weeks before the wedding, she comes to the house. So she sees I've hung up all the bridesmaid dresses, and she's like, no, I'm not wearing that sari. I want a dress too. So, of course, we eyeballed her because there was no time, cut her pattern size. She got her clothes. We did it in record time. I think that was like the easiest and the shortest. We did it in 2 days. And she had her clothes, went laundered, and she was good to go.
When Linda asked me to be on the line, it felt good. Okay, it was expected because I'm her sister also. And my other sister, Steph, and I decided we wanted a crop top and a skirt. So the reason as to I wanted a crop top and a skirt is because I wanted to look elegant, and at the same time, my age. I didn't want to olden myself.
How old is
I intend to wear the dress again in any other function, be it a wedding, anything that requires something elegant. Yeah.